Hi guys, and welcome back to another World Painter tutorial. So it's been a while since I've done one of these, and today what we're going to be covering is how to make planes and kind of basically to make like a Rohan type landscape. So I was actually asked if I could make some sort of planes, and I was kind of like, well, why not do both? Kind of have a look at kind of the landscape of Rohan and obviously New Zealand. Um, this kind of landscape, so very open. And it's very difficult to get this to look good, but you need to have some slight hills, you also need to have some rocks in there, occasional rivers as well, obviously, but you also do want to have some bushes, and I've actually got a custom kind of pack that'll be coming with this, as well as the small rocks that I've come up with. I'll be releasing that kind of today as well, so you'll be able to download those, but yeah, what we're going to do is basically try and build something similar. We're not going to obviously build Edoras, but we are going to build a hill where we can build a little town on, I guess, or you guys can build a town on, or whatever like that. So the main thing we need to look at is colours-wise. This is very, very yellow. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the biome brush as well today to basically create that kind of yellow, which you can do with the desert biome. So if we just go into World Painter, and we're going to do New World. Now, this tutorial does kind of assume that you've done a couple of my tutorials before. What I'll do is I'll link in the description the kind of relevant ones that I think are relevant before even starting doing this. It's stuff like, custom terrain, custom brushes, like the trees. So probably episode 1 and episode 2, or not episode 1, but lesson 1 and lesson 2, I don't know. Those two. But I'll link the ones that I think are relevant and you'll be using. So it's going to create a new world. So we've got this one called Rohan. I'm going to make mine 1,000 blocks, and I'm just going to type in 1,000. There it goes, 1,024. I just find that's a nice little size to actually test out things before you go super duper massive. We're also going to go to flat, and I'm going to change this so that the actual level is down at 30, and get rid of beaches. So I do want to have a river kind of going around it somewhere. And surface material, yep, grass will do fine. And, well, that's pretty much it. So we're just going to do create. There we go. It's already done. So there's also been quite a few updates to World Painter as well, which has made it so much better. So the first thing we're going to really do is we're just going to create a river. So this does assume, of course, that you have custom brushes. I'm just going to create a river. I kind of want to have a hill maybe here, and have a river kind of going around the side and just kind of snaking through. I think that would look pretty cool, so I'm just going to get my intensity, and I'm just going to right-click here. You can see that I'm just drawing a really rough one at the minute. I don't know how big this river is, and it might actually be worth me going in-game already and having a look, but that does look... Yeah, that is actually quite big. Oh well. So if we just push up, so I want to have like a kind of hill here, so I'm just going to build up a nice hill, and I'm going to push back this as well, so... There we go, so I want to have kind of like a steep edge here, maybe. So I'm going to try out a couple of the other custom brushes. And some of the ones I actually advise getting are the Jeracraft ones that he's actually made, because they're pretty awesome. So there we go, we'll have a nice hill here. We're just going to make some nice hilly terrain. Like this, there we go. Make a load there. And make a load on the other side as well, just some rough hills. And that's also cut down the size of the river. So there we go, I'm just messing around with that. There we go. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go to here and export. I'm just going to export that tiny little bit, so of course you just take off this. I'm also going to switch to creative. We want to be able to fly. Don't need a chest of goodies. Also we got resources everywhere. Don't need that. Yep, that looks pretty good. So if I just do export only tiles, I just want to see this little bit here to see how big that hill is. To get a sense of perspective before we even start doing anything. So if I just do export. Okay, that's all done. So if I just jump into Minecraft, and it should be there. There we go. So I'm using Conquest texture pack at the minute. So there we go. So there's our river. So this needs to be deeper. Straight away, we've already identified that needs to be deeper. This hill here is puny. I want like a big hill. So we're going to actually make that go up a lot higher. And then it does kind of go up higher there, but... Obviously, we've only got a little snapshot, as you can see. We can already see the border here. But the river needs to be deeper, definitely. Okay. So we just jump back in. What we're going to do first, then, we just zoom in. And I'm going to grab a different brush. I'll grab this one, I think. It's a little bit smaller. And if you hold down Alt and move your mouse wheel, that will actually change the rotation here. You can also do it by hand. But sometimes what you want to do is just kind of grab it there. So I'm just going to go down here and deepen this a bit. There we go. So there's a little river here, and that'll make it a little bit more deeper. Now it's like a couple of blocks at least. We can try this out in a bit and have a look in our next kind of render out of it. But there we go, that looks better already. And we need to have this hill to be bigger, so what we're going to do... This one's quite a kind of good brush, I find. Just going to build this up. Make it really steep on this bank so that it's almost like the river is almost like a moat towards this place. Let's move up this part. So I'm going to switch it around this way. There we go. So we've got some of those. And I'm just going to build up this main kind of hilly area. And then we've also got over here, there isn't really any hills at all. So I'm going to grab this one. I always usually just try out random ones. I'm going to go really big first. So there we go, really, really big to create some like variation. And grab another one and just do some little small bits. Okay. Now quickly what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the biome tool. And I don't think I've shown this before, but if we just click OK, that means we can see it. If we click on biomes, what happens is you get this biome tab down here. And we're actually going to be using the desert one because that makes it kind of yellowish. And we're going to just do intensity 100%. We can actually use a really hard brush. We'll use that one, for example. And then do only on land, because we don't really want the water to be like that. And then we're just going to do this. And you might be thinking, well, what the hell's just happened? But basically, this is all now a desert biome. But right here is actually a river. So we've actually kept where the water is. That's actually just a river as normal. And we've got little bits where it says ocean, but we can sort that out later. So that'll give us that, and we actually do want to grab the river, actually. Might as well do that. So there we go, there's river there. If we do only on water now, I'm going to apply that. There we go, so that's definitely a river now. So that's quite cool. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to grab a custom object layer. Or actually, we can have a look at this terrain first, see if this is high enough, and we might actually need to smooth out this little bit here. Let's smooth this out first. We need like a building platform to actually build some very cool stuff. Alright, so let's move this out. There we go. And I might actually bring these out a little bit. So if you use the flatten tool, this is a way to make really cool cliffs. If you use the flatten tool and then use one of your custom brushes, let's go with this one. And what we're going to do is we're just going to select here and then pull this out. You can see what that's doing. It's making a real cliff face. So it's less smooth, but try and be a little bit random with it. And try and pull from different places. You don't want to have like a pure flat top. There we go, so grab this. And let's think about where we're going to actually be going up. So I kind of want to have a cliff going around here as well. And then have like an entranceway somewhere down here maybe. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull these around here. I'm going to do it quite a big pull here like this. We could always have a gate down here if we were going to. And then pull these as well. There we go. So I've kind of got a hill starting here. Flatten that out a little bit. Pull that over there. Okay. So then we're just flattening out a little bit more of this top area. So there we go, flatten this out. So around to this point here. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I've got like a flat area, and it is super flat at the minute. That's fine. So there we go, we've got this nice hill, we've got some cliffs. I'm going to use this one, and there you go, that'll make it a little bit spiky on these bits here. I can always just raise up the terrain just a little bit on these points, maybe, like that. That should do. So now what we're going to do is going to go into custom terrain, and I'm just going to import from file because I've already got mine kind of set up, I guess. So if I just go into D, and I've got mine in MC Edit for some reason, schematics, world painter. And you guys should know how to do this now. Oh, that's not right. So it's not in brushes. I don't want to create a new folder. There we go. Custom brushes. So I put mine in there. So I've actually got Conquest cliffs as I've been using Conquest. But, you know, any normal cliffs will actually do. And we're going to do above. And yeah, we'll try 45 degrees for the time being. So there we go. Put this on. So that's not doing too much. Only to the real cliffs. Okay, so that's not really done as much, I don't think. And I'm actually going to turn off biomes. There we go. So that's not really done enough, I don't think. Not really cliff enough, you know, cliffy enough. So if we just do above 30 degrees, maybe that'll do it. There we go, so that's done like a lot. So we want to see if any of these hills as well. So we could do with creating a little bit more there. What I'm going to do is just try this out. So I'm just going to do export again. And I'm actually going to grab most of this little islandy place to see what this cliffside is like as well. Okay, so here we are. So what does this look like? This looks pretty cool. Now, I didn't really realise that reeds, or sugar canes, that's pretty awesome. I didn't actually know that in the desert biome in Conquest they're actually different. That's really cool. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so this river is looking a little bit better. This cliffs, this just isn't big enough, I don't think. Still not big enough, but you can kind of see what we've started to do. I think it needs to be like quite up to the bank, maybe. So yeah, have that a lot bigger. But the river is looking a lot better. That's good. And you can see the colour change that we've actually had as well with this. So it's a lot kind of yellower, yeah. I think so, which is quite good. So good God, this is actually a really, really large area, which is quite good if you did want to build a big kind of Rohan type place. And yeah, this cliffside needs to be at least like twice as high, maybe. But at least we've actually seen that, and you can see the kind of effect of those rocks as well that kind of come through, and you can see where they're kind of coming from. So we need to like double that size. So let's just exit out of this, go into here, and what I'm going to do is, what size are we on? 45. So I'm just going to go up to here, which is 55. A little bit more, 63. Yeah, let's go for that. I'm just going to drag these out to here. So we're going to have like a raised bit up here. And what I think I'm going to do is, kind of like Edoras does have, has that kind of raised area for a keep, or the kind of golden hall, I think it's called. So we're actually going to have that as well. So if I just drag all these here, and we'll fix the actual custom layers in a minute. If we just grab these, you can see this kind of brush. It's actually doing it. I'm just going to grab these out here. I'm just going to create a kind of lower platform. And see, we're just dragging these out here, just using the flatten tool. Try and make this a little bit smoother. There we go. So I'm just going to drag those there. And I'm just going to use the smooth tool as well. Smooth out like a little bit of those because they're a little bit rough at the minute. Also here, and we can actually smooth out these. It might actually be faster with the flatten tool, so flatten these out with a soft brush here like this. And it does make some weird hills, but we can fix those in a little bit. So there we go. So we've just got this here. So this is giving us like our flat mountain top type bit. And then right here is where we're going to have raise up a little bit here. So we're going to have like a raised platform type bit here. Okay, and then we can flatten that off and keep the cliffs going up to it. Push these out a little bit more, maybe. So it's kind of got a ridge which is on the side here. That might be quite cool. Okay, so there we go. That's given us that. Now what we're going to do is, if we grab our custom terrain or any type of terrain, we're just going to take off the above, and we're going to right click, and that'll just remove any sort of terrain that you've placed down. So any user terrain that you've put in. Okay, so now we've got that. What we're going to do again is we're going to do above the 30 degrees, and look at that, that's just made ridiculous cliffs. So that's kind of what we wanted. And actually what I want as well here is I want like a big ridge coming out. That would be quite cool. Kind of like a mountainy bit. So we've got like a pass going up here, and these bits are a little bit blocked off as well, just not as much. We've got kind of like a little mountain starting there, which I don't really want, so I'm just going to flatten that a bit. We can have like a tower or something there. Okay, so we've got that. Again, custom terrain, there we go. Paint that on. So if we have a quick look at what this looks like, it should look pretty cool now. Yep, so let's do that. And export. Okay, so let's jump back into this map. Let's have a look. Okay. There we go. So that looks a lot better, I think. Those are a little bit too flat, but I'm not too bothered. I think that works a lot better. I'm really happy with that. Okay. So let's have a look down here. So this is where we're going to have like a road down there easily. That'd be very cool. Got a nice river there. We've already got some of the flowers and stuff. We're actually going to increase the grass by quite a lot. So we've got this, and that's why the normal map. You can see the different colour between the green and also the kind of desert colour. That's completely different. Okay, so where is... I guess some more cliffs over there. I wish I had like fly fast as well, but unfortunately I don't on this version. Okay, so these cliffs are also looking pretty good. I didn't want to have them too high. I kind of want to have it kind of a bit more mellowed out. But what we do now need is, obviously we need normal rocks, but we also need to have kind of those ridges that you have in Rohan. I don't know how to actually explain it. I guess if we find some pictures, I don't know, those rocks will be done normally, but you know, the canyony type bits, it's very difficult for me to explain, but I'll try and figure that out. So if we just go back into World Painter, I'm going to grab this brush right here. I'm just going to raise up a little bit, like, not that one, this one. I'm just going to raise up these kind of ridges. There's like these weird ridges. I'm going to kind of get them crossing each other as well a bit. See if we can get some like more rocky formations on these. And curve this one, so we've got a big curve one. And I'm going to turn this one here. It's got this kind of weird one here, and see if that, what that looks like as well. So we've got this weird bit here. So we could have kind of like a river crossing at some point. And there we go, put those in. So I should add a little bit more kind of changes to the terrain. Makes a little bit more kind of rockiness. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just lightly, actually that's a little bit too much. What I'll do is I'll turn down the intensity, but I am going to smooth out this just by tapping and just clicking really, really quickly, basically, on a kind of, oh, that's too low actually, there we go, on like 8% or something. Just to smooth out it a little bit, but without doing it too much. There we go. Smooth this out. Okay. And now what I'm going to do again is grab my kind of rock layer, whatever that is. And if we grab a normal brush, a rock layer, and just apply that onto these, there we go. So now we've got a little bit more rocks coming out. I think that looks a lot cooler. So you can see that we've just added into here, for example, there'll be a nice little, almost like a natural wall or something like that. So we've got the big hill here. I'm actually just going to, this is too flat for my liking, unfortunately, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do intensity, just do it on like 15%, and custom brushes. Maybe pick this one this time, and make it like a little small bit here, and just add in a little bit of variation with these, make a couple of hills, even though I'll probably flatten them. If I go into this and build a little world, I'll probably flatten all these out, but, and this I don't really like here, but probably fill that in. Just create a little bit of variation here and here. And we don't have to really worry about reapplying those. If you only do light kind of hills and things, you don't really have to worry about reapplying anything. There we go. That gives us the kind of basics. And obviously if we turn on biomes, you'll get the kind of really yellowness of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save that for the time being, just to make sure. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into custom layers. I'm going to do add a custom object layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using, and I'll link all of these in the description, the actual packs, but these will be the rock repository, which is done by Monsterfish, and he's the same guy that does the Conquest texture pack, so I'll link that in. And if you go into the BO2s, I'm going to choose all of the plains rock, so all 4 of those, select those. I'm actually going to do air 4 times as well, because these are quite big rocks. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and just using the air will just kind of fill up everything, and that's all you really need to do with that one. I'm actually going to do dark grey for these, so you can choose a colour, and big rocks is what I'm going to name it. So there we go, we've now got that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it below 20 degrees, so I only want these to appear when they're kind of an angle below 20 degrees, and I also only want it on the land, just to make sure. So there we go. If we do this, so there's actually still going to be a lot of them. And what we need to do is actually take away that. If you do it on 100%, you'll get rocks everywhere. What I advise with this one is actually 1%. There we go. That looks better. So if you just apply this, what I'll do is put that down. And I'm actually going to change my spawn to this point down here. And I'm going to show you what those rocks look like. And also what these ridges that we just made look like as well. So I'm going to select terrain, just going to do clear selection, select this little bit here, do export. Okay, so here we are on that point. So you can see these rocks, and there is loads of them. So we already need to turn that down quite a bit, but you can see what they've done. They've kind of variated it, but these ridges, this is what I was talking about. See, they're not really kind of over the top they're not like huge mountainy bits. They're just kind of like a hill which has got some rock exposed because of wind or whatever. So it makes it quite interesting there. Yeah, these rocks, we've definitely got to probably half that number. But you can kind of see how cool they look at least, and they do fit in really nicely. That's kind of like light rock with these hardened clay bits. Obviously it works best with Conquest. He's even got bees in them as well. Why not? So yeah, we've got that. Okay. So we'll have maybe even 1/3 of these actually. That is quite a lot of rocks, especially over there. Yeah, we're gonna cut those down quite a lot. But you can see the kind of terrain that we've got here. Might do with a couple of like little pond kind of lakes maybe in this. So let's just go out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go right click edit, and I'm going to add probably 4 to 3 and 4. Maybe number 4. I'll just add an extra 4 as well. And do OK. So we've got those in there. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go here. I'm going to add another custom layer object, or object layer. And what I've got now is I've got the LD Rocks pack. So if you go into this, and if you select all of those 4 planes ones, these are basically just smaller versions of monsters. And you can always go into here, into the BO2s, for example, just add air. I'd probably add air 4 times. 2, 3, and 4. And what we're actually going to have to do, unfortunately, because I haven't figured out how to make the BO2s yet, if you just go onto each of these, you have to do edit, and then you have to, on the Z, not Z, on the Y, you just have to -1. If you just do that there, and then go into here, Z, or Y -1, not Z, there we go, and then do that, -1, and also another one, -1, like that. So then we've got those ones, so we can call this small rocks, because that's exactly what they are. So again, we're going to have 1%. We are actually going to have below 30 degrees. And what I usually do is I usually change the rotation. This will just make them spawn in a little different place. And on land again. And we're just going to go paint all of this. Just like that. So it's going to be, you know, they can appear on a little bit of a higher angle. That'll give us more of those rocks. And actually what I'm going to do, just to make sure, so I'm going to add an extra 4 kind of lots of air. So adding lots of air, even when you got 1%, you'll see how much kind of stuff there is. So that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, 8. 8 I think in total. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to do add here, and we're going to do add a custom ground cover layer. Now this is something I don't think I've done before. I think I might have done with the water maybe, but this is basically just something that will spawn on top of the ground. And what we're going to do is we're going to add more grass, we're going to add a couple of different flowers, things like that, just in addition. So if we just click right here on material, and we're going to name this whole thing. Actually, do we name it there, or do we name it... There we go. If we name it down here, we're just going to do grass or something. And if we go into material, if we just go down to here, first thing we're going to do is just add normal grass, which is 31. And the data value for this, the normal grass, is just 1. So we're just going to add that. And if we add another material, we're also going to do another one. It's also going to do 31 as well. But this time we're going to do the data value of 2, and that's actually the ferns. So that's the fern kind of texture. You can see that it's just changed to kind of really green there. And if we do it again, what we're going to do is go onto this, and we're going to do 37. Now 37 is actually the dandelion. There you go, dandelion right there. And we're going to change all of the occurrences a bit later. And now the next one we're going to do is going to be 38, and that's normal poppy. Now all of the extra kind of flowers that we've actually got data value wise, we've got poppy, which is what used to be the rose, then 38:1 is a blue orchid. We've also got the all the other ones like alliums, which are 38:2, 38:3 is azure bluette. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to pick out a couple of these. We're not going to go crazy with them. So the ones I'm actually going to be choosing is going to be poppy, so we're going to have that one normal there. And if we grab another one, I'm just going to 38, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to go with the azure bluette. So that's one of my favourite ones out of all of them. So we're going to grab that one. We're also going to do another one. Yeah, we're going to have lots and lots of these. This is just to add a little bit of variation. So if we go into here, and the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to have ox-eye daisy, which is 38:8. And that's that one there. So, You know, we've got quite a few there, and you can see the crazy blob that we've got here. And you can actually do blobs if you want to. I prefer to do random. I always find it works out a little bit better. The next one we're going to actually add is going to be 175. So these are the tall grasses. And we're only going to add, I don't think, we can add, you know, the lilacs, and you can add rose bushes, and you can also add the peonies. But I actually prefer, especially for this kind of terrain, just have the normal. So where is it? 175. Let's have a look. 175. There we go. Large flower. So for the double grass, that's actually the second one. And then for the ferns, the large ferns, that's the third one. So 175. And then we're going to have 3. So this is going to be quite complicated. So now let's look at what we've got. We've got normal grass, we've got ferns, we've got a dandelion. Now we don't really need dandelion that much, so I'm actually going to change that down to about 25. And that hasn't stuck, so if we do 25 and then press enter, should definitely stick. We've also got rose here, so what we're going to do is we're also going to put that on 25. We don't want too much of that either. Azure bluettes we do want quite a lot of, which is the 38:3. And Oxtide Daisy we do want quite a lot of, and then these ones actually, that should be quite good, I think. So we just go onto this name here and it's gone a bit nuts, or we can just do OK. Yeah, we'll just do OK, you just get this crazy naming here. And I'm going to put that as, what colour should we go for? Yellow or something. Like that. And that, well actually if we just name this, I wonder if it's going to be bugging out. If we just rename this just to all grass or something. If I can spell. There we go, OK. And then that'll appear as OK. It seems that if this goes along too long, you can't press OK. I think the OK bar actually moves all the way if it's here. So just keep that in mind. So if we do OK, what we're going to do is this actual normal brush we're actually going to use. I'm going to do 100%. And only on land, that'll be fine. Or actually only on grass, I think. There we go, only on grass. And we're just going to tap. And you can see that that creates a massive blob. So I'm actually going to make mine a lot smaller. Like this, and there we go. So some of it's going underneath the water, but it actually won't be underneath the water, or we'll remove it later. So it's going to do this, so that it's kind of got these... It's almost got like a net of grass, in a way. So there we go, keep on applying this. You basically just go around the entire map doing this. There we go, even on the top parts here. Like that. Okay. Now almost done. There we go. So that should kind of do it. I mean, you could go, you know, 100% if you wanted every single grass block to have some sort of flowers or grass on them. So there we go. I'm just doing a couple more. There, that'll do. So now you can see this crazy mess. And if you just press this tick over here, you can actually turn them off. And if you switch to another one, it just turn it off if it's a bit too loud for you. We're also going to add another custom layer object. Custom object layer even, if we just do this, and I've got another pack which will be in the description as well, so if we just go back, and we've got bushes here, and I've got 6 of these, and these are just really small bushes, so if you just load up all of those, and you don't need to do anything of those, they're just fine like that, and I'm going to choose, I don't know, like a really strong green for those ones, and do OK, and I'm going to switch down the intensity to 1%, and now we're just going to apply it, I guess. I'm going to see how this is. I haven't actually tried this out as a layer, so this will be quite interesting. So we painted this, and we've got this crazy green and yellow blob. So if we just export, and let's have a look at what we've made. Okay, so this is what we've got. Now, the first thing I can see, way too many flowers. We need more grass. We need more grass and more long grass. Less ferns as well. So you can see what already happened with that custom layer, kind of object layer. So we need to have like just way less of those. Now where rock-wise have we got? There we go. You can see the big ones are now really kind of a lot sparser. God, I just can't get over the flowers. So we've got lots of those. These little bushes that we've got as well. You can see these. These are the ones that I just kind of gave you guys. So it's just like these really simple ones. Literally, like some of them are just literally a fence and 2 leaves. But it just adds a little bit more variation, gives you a bit more like shrubs and things like that. So we've got some of those. And where are my normal small rocks? I think this is one here. No, that's maybe not one. Where are the normal rocks gone? It's very difficult because some of these are quite rocky anyway. But there should be some normal rocks around anyway. And I can't seem to see them, so we might need to turn up the percentage of those. So we've got the big ones. Yeah, so we'll turn up the percentage of the smaller rocks. Need them to be like kind of a little bit more everywhere. But the main thing is these flowers are terrible. I've really got to fix that. So this is actually a natural spawning bush as well. So we'll just go back into World Painter and change a couple of those little bits. Okay, so let's go into here, and I think that the bushes and things, that was pretty good. The grass, obviously, we need to change this like crazy. So I think what I'm going to do, and this is out of 1,000, so I'm going to go I'm going to do 200 actually. 200 on that one. And we'd need less ferns. Actually, we could do like 400, I think. Yeah, I'll do 400 on that. Less ferns. The dandelions, I'm going to even put those down to 10. And same with the normal flower here. It's going to do them as kind of like a rare thing. So we're going to have 20 on those ones. The two that I had before are quite up high. I have 20 on those. And then we've got the large flowers. And what can we have on these? 200 maybe? And I don't know where my maths is going on this. So there we go. That's just kind of a bit crazy. Okay, let's do that. And do okay on that. The other one is small rocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take out 2 of these air layers. Actually, 3 of them. I'm just going to leave 2 air layers maybe. And do okay. And what I might actually do is below 30 degrees. Maybe I'll do below 50. Only on grass. And I'm actually might... No, I'll just leave it on 1% for now. Let's paint this all around. We'll see what that's like now. Hopefully that's kind of fixed it a little bit. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so this is what we've got now. Now that looks a lot better, but we could do with a little bit more grass, maybe even just everywhere. And even less of these flowers again. And some flowers, I didn't even put those in there. So that's naturally spawning. You can actually change those so that they don't appear, but I usually leave some of them in. I do like this little cliff thing here. That's really cool. It's like a weird spider's web, and then you get this crazy overhanging rock sticking out. Okay, that's quite cool. I'm going to put up the small rocks. I'm going to put up those ones. So it might be that some of them are getting lost inside, because they are quite small. So I think we got some over there, actually. Yeah, that's one there. We need to put that up to like 8%, I think. That's what's going to work. Maybe even put up the bushes layer. Possibly. I don't know. Let's have a look. Right, let's jump back in. And again, we're going to go into, there we go, small rocks. What I'm going to do is, I'm actually just going to do 8%. And there we go, do this. And just colour this in. So we're really going to have loads of these small rocks. Just adds variation to it all. So there we go, small rocks. Small rocks all over there. Okay. And the acacia, did I actually put in? No, there isn't any air in those. I think actually that's okay. But grass-wise, what we could do is still lower these even further. So we're just going to do 5 this time, which is pretty low. The actual ferns, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to do 100. We're even going to have flower on 5 as well. So you can see how much kind of you have to play around with this. And you really do have to quite a lot. So I'm going to do 10 again. We've got the large flowers, those are pretty good, so we're just going to do okay on that, and okay on that. What I'm actually going to do as well is I'm going to put even more of them on there. So I'm just going to spam like huge numbers of them. There we go, that is pretty much covered the entire map in those. As you can see, very, very yellowy green, really quite a horrible colour, but let's try this out. This should now be pretty much done. Okay, so let's load this up. There we go. So that looks a little bit better. I think you'll agree that it does look a lot better. We've got a lot more grass. And we've got the nice hills now. So that's all on there. Looking a lot more closer to Rohan than it was before. So there we go. There's these rocks coming out now. So I think the 8% did work. Just to get these to appear every so often, you just get like a nice little rock formation. So it doesn't make the ground look too kind of super smooth at all. So that looks really good. I'm quite happy with that. So now what do we need to do? I think that's pretty much it. I think we've got nice grass. I might put up the bushes a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the bushes up like a tiny little tad. So if I just go back out, and all I'm going to do is just go onto this bush layer, and maybe even, I think we did 1% before, didn't we? Maybe we're going to do 8. Let's do 8, only on grass. And then just blanket this. Get a really, really strong colour. I'm also going to turn off the grass because that's horrible. There we go. So now we've got this. What I'm going to do is have a look here, for example. And then we'll have a look. Clear this, put this over here. And we should pretty much be done after we've loaded this one up. Okay, so this is where it looks like on the water, and I think that does work really well. So that's kind of, it's kind of like plains. I mean, like here is kind of plains-like. Quite interesting. No real trees, kind of like Rohan doesn't really have trees, or even these bushes. I've just got them in there because it adds a lot more interest. Makes the entire kind of maps look interesting. If you just miss them out, it looks kind of boring. Could maybe do even more grass. I don't think I'd be able to say that. Yeah, I think I'm even going to put up the grass a little bit more. Or maybe just paint it more on this part, or maybe just fill the entire map. I might just see what that looks like, just filling the entire map quickly. So we just go back onto the grass layer. So if we just do 100% only on grass, blomp, like that. Okay, that will pretty much do it. So let's just render this out one final time. Okay, so this is what we've got when it's kind of completely kind of grassed up. So there is like still gaps, and actually I think that might be even a little bit better. I'm still not too sure about the ferns. That's the only thing. I think they're a little bit too, I don't know, don't quite work, do they? Which one are those ones? Are they ferns? Oh, they're ferns as well. Yeah, so I might turn down the ferns, or maybe take them out. I'm not too sure yet. But that's pretty much it. If we actually turn on shaders as well, just have a look at what it looks like in this. There we go. So that looks a little bit more like Rohan, I guess. So you can see the kind of, actually that is pretty much, I don't think we need any more. That's pretty good actually. There we go. So hopefully that's given you guys an idea. This is kind of like more of a let's build a certain style of map type thing. But if you guys have any suggestions for what you want me to do next, or any sort of terrain you want me to go through with you guys, then I'm more than happy to do so. As for now, I kind of feel like doing some sort of Rohan style terrain, or not terrain, but like a map maybe, something like that. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you on the next one.